Hi everyone, so today I'm going to take you on an adventure. I want to show you how I hunt for discount hydrangea plants at the big box stores. Because there's an area that you may not be aware of at these big box stores where they put some of their discount plants. Home Depot has changed things up and they are not putting the plants in the same spots at this time of year. So I'm going to show you where they're storing this stuff and where you can get some discounts. Now the discounts will vary. Some of them will be half price, some will be, 40% off, that kind of thing. You will have to go through the plants, but I'm going to show you how to go through the plants and how to pick the hydrangeas so that you can save some money and save some plants that are just going to go in the darn garbage, which is a shame. So come along with me for this trip and hopefully you will find it helpful and you'll take a chance on some plants that maybe aren't looking the best but have potential. I am at Home Depot and I'm going to share with you where they keep another section of clearance plants. And it is out in their fenced in yard outside here in Regina. And they have plants out here that are marked down. So when we're picking hydrangeas that are marked down, you need to be looking at them very carefully and looking for issues. We have a Limelight, little lime, and it's not looking the greatest, but it's still alive. Normally this would be marked down, but it's not, so it shouldn't be sitting here. But this is usually what you find here that's marked down 50% off. It's so strange that it's not. It's something that I could take to the till and ask, but I may have to put it back. But here at the very back, you can see a large pot, and I'm just going to pull it out so you can have a look at it. It is a proven winner's plant. You can see here it has been marked down from $49.98 to $25. This is a really large plant and it is a Limelight prime. Limelight primes are pretty hardy, zone 3 to 8. And if we inspect this plant, you can see a lot of the leaves have died, so it's been allowed to dry out. But we also can see, if we inspect the branches right here, there are little growth shoots coming. So this one is worth buying and it's a really nice size. So if they still have shoots on them, little green shoots, you can save it. If they don't, like these endless summer, you cannot save them. But you got to look really close at them. Their leaves might be completely gone and you might be able to still save the plant. Here's another example here. We're looking at this plant. This is an endless summer, and you can see right, I don't know if you can see it close there, there's a green shoot. This one can be saved. And you can see here it's marked down from $32.98 to $16. So that is a worthy buy, but you got to inspect it close. See right there, wherever there's a nodule in the stem, you can look and see if there's growth shoots. Here's a really good example right there. You can save it. Now I'm not going to take these ones here. They are way too big. There's another one there. But if you're looking for something to save, definitely consider it. So we're going to take this one home and I'm going to inspect the other ones here very close, because if I can save money on them and they are still alive, I will. Look at that. That's what we're looking for. Stems that are alive, and we want to look at those nodules and see if there's any life on it. Yeah, there's some down there. So this one's worth saving too. And we're going to look at one more. Now this one, I would not take this one. Everything's pretty brown and you're going to have a hard time reviving it, and you're only going to be able to revive part of the plant because there's only a little bit of green there. All right, so we got 2 specimen plants that we're going to use, and I'm going to save them and show you how. The endless summers are a nice plant, but you want to double check them before you take them home as well This is the Summer Crush Reblooming Hydrangea. You want to check the zone. So these are 4 to 9. So yes, I can grow them in my garden, but they should be in a little bit of shelter because they're 4 to 9. Here are the 2 plants. And if you look closely, and I just started cleaning this and realized my mic wasn't on, we can see there is a lot of shoots on this. So this plant is still alive, but it needs some love. So I'm going to finish doing what I was doing. And basically, all I've done is started removing all the leaves off of it. And hopefully, I'll get this done before it starts raining, because it's spitting. So let's just keep picking through this and removing everything. Every single leaf that's got brown on it, it's a goner. I'm going to give this a nice clean start. If the leaves are looking good, then I'm going to leave them, providing I keep that stem, because I like to make sure there's lots of air movement in these plants. This one needs to go. So take off a couple of these tops, and then we'll come back through. It's just a quicker way to clean it up. Look at that, it's already looking better. Now I'll go through and just remove those individual leaves. And then I'm going to show you, after I get this cleaned up, how we're going to treat it. As in, what we're going to do next to give this a good start. That branch was not looking good there, so I just took it off rather than try to pull the leaves off. When they get soft like that, it's pretty hard to get the leaves off. So you've all seen the endless summer hydrangeas. I'm sure a lot of you have them possibly in your yard or considering buying them. But if you're brand new to growing hydrangeas, and let's just say, like me, you live on a budget, so everything I plant is purchased by myself out of my budget, my garden budget, and then some. How many people stick to a garden budget? That's really hard. Okay, I'm just going to take these off and this tip off here. And I think I'm going to remove this tip off right here. Okay, totally clean plant. Anyhow, just so you know, I buy all my own plants. I don't have anything given to me for free unless a neighbor and I exchange plants or a neighbor gives me plants. Okay, now let's look at this real close because you get a good look at the health of this plant. I'm going to zoom in. Look at all those leaf nodes. You'll see, look at that. It looks good, you guys. Look at that. See if I see all those new shoots, even right there. It'll focus. You can see them. So this plant is very alive, but we do have some branches in it that are not looking good, as in they're getting extremely woody. And I'm pointing to this one right here. But this part is okay. It's in here that we want to clean. So the next thing we want to do after we clean everything out of it is we want to take any branches in the center that are crossing. So for instance, I don't like this branch. Yes, it has a lot of shoots on it, but it's crossing and rubbing against this main branch. So I'd rather keep the main branch and take the one that's crossing out. The same with the center one. This is dead. So I'm just going to reach in here and very carefully remove it. Now we go to the upper branches and we want everything to come out. So you want it to move out, not inwards. You want it to expand, so there's lots of air movement, and that prevents disease. So when I look at these, like this one, I'm going to come down right into here, and I'm just going to take that out. Anything else that is going inward, we will remove. That's pretty good, like right there. This is actually a pretty clean specimen, although this branch here is kind of going across, but it's not interfering with anything. So we will leave it. Okay, so that's cleaned up. Now we want to prune down to the next node. So we could go to this one right here. You can see there's a little bud right there, but I want to shape it up much better. So I'm going to go down to the next one. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to give it a good hard pruning all the way across, and we're going to get rid of, brown tips like this, dead areas, nice and clean, and make sure your pruners are in good shape. Same with this one. It can go down. And we're going to have a nice cleaned up specimen. And I'm just going to go through, as you can see, and give it a good cutting. That way, and some of them are going to be more than others, that way, I'm taking this one out too, because I don't like where it's going to cross. So this one has shoots right up there, so that's okay. This one's too high. Take that. And we're going to take this one here. And we have a nice shape here. This one right here has got a weird angle on it. When you take these, you can also take them so that the shoots are facing out, not inward. But because these all have two shoots, one on each side, that's not relevant to cleaning up this hydrangea. So right there, it is totally clean. Let's do the next one. I already started on this one and my mic was not working, which sometimes happens. Okay, here's the next one. This is what that one looked like. So let's get the tag off right off the bat here. One thing I hate taking off of plants. Oh, we got a train. Here's the tag.
Hanging on, walking tall. Some days I got no use for it all. Working hard, making less. Some days.
There's a shot of everything I took off of it. So I filled this pail up about a quarter full with water. Now you have two options here for how you want to soak these. You can just soak it in this water. I recommend a minimum of 30 minutes or until the pot feels heavy, or you can do this. Now this is the Miracle Grow plant food for evergreens. This has the acid in it that hydrangea loves. You can even see it on the picture. I've had this for quite a while. You can see it's starting to get a little cruddy, but we just need to give a little bit. So you can see how much I have in my hand. We're just going to put that in there, and I'm going to mix it around just by hand. I don't have a stick handy, so I'll just, there. Just a little bit of food to make them happy. And then we're going to stick the plant in, and in a few minutes it'll settle. It's one thing about being in a pail, it's not going to tip over because the pot is big enough. And we'll let that absorb for 30 minutes or more, depending on how dry the plant is. I find 30 minutes is about the minimum. Some people will soak them, for a few hours or until they remember to come back to them, or you can soak it overnight. That gives it a good start. And so we've just rejuvenated these plants, and now once this is done sucking up the water, we can find a place in the garden to plant them. So if you follow this process, whether you're an experienced gardener or a brand new gardener, there are ways you can save money gardening, and this is one of them.